W7's got it right. Covering girls' high school sports all the time. 100% free, 100% live. W7 for the girls all day and night. W7 Productions. From golf, volleyball, his girls' sports in Wisconsin. W7 Productions. Basketball, softball, W7 for the girls.
W7 Live, welcome to the 2021 W7 Girls Volleyball Broadcast Schedule Reveal Show. This is Gary Wepperman and two special guests with us, part of the W7 team. First of all, Coach Ed Rowie. Coach, good evening, and how are you tonight?
Doing well. Great to hear from you again.
You got a nice fire pit there in the background. I mean, I may come over for a cocktail after all this is done.
I would not stop you. You're always welcome. You know that.
And Connor DuBois, the voice of the Northern Lights of W7 is on. Coach, welcome.
How are you doing?
Good. Well, guys, we're upon another season, now officially our fourth season of covering girls' live sports in Wisconsin, and it's hard to believe that this is our fourth year already. And one thing I was thinking about was the class of 2021 is kind of our first cycle all the way through. So the class of 2021, when we started, they were all freshmen. So those kids all graduated this spring, of course. Now, what that means is the kids that are seniors this year, or any of the kids that are in high school now, have not had a time where W7 has not been at least up and going. So they've never known kind of a world without W7, which is kind of cool, I think.
It's great. It's great for girls' sports. It's great for us. It's great for them. I don't think they realize how much they touch our lives, but yeah, it is to have a cycle like that to go all the way through. It is it's great. Connor, forgot to say hello to you. Great to hear from you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Ed. And I would say now I think the expectations are even bigger from the kids because they know what we're all about now. So there's no just showing up and not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, we can't mail it in anymore. We actually have to try from now on, I guess.
Yep.
Which, I've said it, we've all said it. I mean, ultimately, this whole thing belongs to them. We're just the stewards of it for them. We just take care of it for them. We report to them. They're our bosses. We just make sure the lights stay on and that the brand goes on for them and for the next group coming behind them.
Absolutely.
That's our only hope. Every time we go up, lights go on. We hope we're out there for all the moms, the dads, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, older siblings, anybody that can hear us and see us. That's what our hope is for, and it's for them.
Well, I'll be curious this year. Obviously, we're kind of back to normal, maybe not fully yet, but we're getting there anyway. One of the things I heard last year was how necessary we were just because of the COVID situation, and certainly it's going to be more possible now for people to live attend events, but it doesn't change the fact that you have a lot of grandparents, a lot of friends. These kids have friends and family, all over the country and literally all over the world that can still watch. And I think, more than ever, in what we do, just not only live streaming, but also promoting, girls' sports. I still think there's a call for it, and we'll continue to do that until there isn't one. I don't know when that'll be, but for right now, I mean, we just keep on doing what we're doing and try to make it better and try to do more. And one of the things that we're really fortunate on is have the supporters that we have that, help us do that. In fact, we start our golf season on Tuesday. So Tuesday we will be at Wanakee Golf Course in Menominee Falls for day 2 of the Brookfield Central Homestead Classic, live from Wanakee. Start time at 8:30. And Edgar Swab is going to be on the broadcast with you, Coach. How about that?
I am really anxious for that. It is such a different event doing golf when the weather's beautiful and it looks like it's going to be, and it is great. It is so much fun to be out there and watch those golfers is humbling because they are really good.
Well, one of the things that what we're here tonight for is obviously volleyball, and we're kind of taking a little bit of a different approach on volleyball this year, just because we have been increasing our golf presence as well. We're still going to do plenty of, trust me, we're going to do plenty of volleyball this year. There's going to be no shortage of that. We're just going to kind of start a little bit later than we normally do so that we can squeeze in some more golf as well. We want to give them some more time than we did last year. So it's just about, juggling resources. And I'll tell you, this year is going to be phenomenal, especially when we get into basketball season, and even the end of volleyball season, where we can literally have 3 broadcasts going at the same time. With myself doing one, Ed will be handling GTV again this year. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And then, of course, Connor now on the northern lights of W7, the Fox Valley area, Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh, Kimberly. We're going to do all kinds of things up there this year. We've got some announcements around that tonight as well. So a lot of great things happening. We haven't just been twiddling our thumbs all summer. We've been working hard and getting ready for this fall, and I think it's probably cliche by now, but I still think this year is going to be the best year we've ever had. I really feel like we're at a place now where we can really kind of start taking off. So speaking of taking off, we're going to take a quick break and come back, and we're going to open this thing up and start talking our girls volleyball schedule on W7. You are watching live. We'll be right back.
If you don't know W7, you don't know Germantown girls basketball. I'm Emily Wisner. And I'm Natalie McNeil. And W7 is for the girls.
We are back live, and time to get into this thing. We're going to start with GTV. Ed, do you want to explain to our viewers, since you're kind of the voice of GTV, what is GTV? Because a lot of times we get new people on, like, what's this GTV thing? What's that all about?
It is still W7. It is still who we are, and it is for the girls. The one caveat is this was the homeschool that won the fundraiser that is running throughout the school year and through March, the end of March, when we have our big reveal, the morning of April 1. But it is a fundraiser, and Germantown, for the second year in a row, raised the most money, and therefore they get majority of their volleyball on GTV, the majority of their basketball on GTV, softball on GTV. We basically created a network for their school, for their girls' athletics. And so come August 31st, we will be doing Germantown volleyball because they were the home school. And so we will be following their volleyball season. And that'll roll right into basketball, which will roll right into softball.
And looking forward to another year with G-Town. And first of all, big thanks to Sarah Unertl, athletic director, as well as, of course, Coach Wagner, Coach Stuvey, Coach Drew, and all of our friends at Germantown. We just could not ask for a better experience than we have with the Warhawks, and we're really excited about this year. No different. Let's start with talking about our season opener. And guys, I've got on the screen, because I know maybe you're not seeing this live, but we're really going to have kind of 2 games for two. Here we go again. It's matches, right, for volleyball. I get yelled at this all the time. It's not games, it's matches. So 2 matches to open the girls volleyball season this year. Don't start with a hate mail already. I get it. It's matches. I got it. Two matches to start. And,
but if you do want to send the hate mail, it's info at...
It's on the bottom of the screen right now. So, and it'll be there
Give them the
whole
address
night.
so it's going to everybody else.
Oh, it's on the bottom. Yeah, share it with everybody you know. So 2 matches to start our season, and we originally planned on starting on August 31st with Germantown and Brookfield Central, which, I mean, that's a pretty good way to start. And then, Coach Connor kind of preempted us. He's going to bring you guys Kewanee at Mishicot on June 26th. So, Coach, welcome to volleyball.
Yeah, looking forward to a good start, and obviously Mishicot knows what's going on. It'll be our first volleyball match with them. Doing a lot of basketball and softball. But,
au contraire, mon frere. We did a match with them last year.
That's right. You came up for the sectional, I believe, correct?
Yeah, but we also did a live one against Brilliant.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah. And then, but Kewanee will make their W7 debut. So looking forward to getting them in the family.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. And then, of course, Coach, I mean, I don't know how much buildup is needed for, Brookfield Central and Germantown. That's going to be at Brookfield Central. Now, of course, you're not going to be doing that one. You're out of pocket that day. So I'm going to,
I am.
You guys, I'm telling you, these guys are actually going to let me
You're
carry
welcome.
one. They're going to let me carry one Germantown game this year, and one
That's
event.
it.
This is
That's
it.
all you get.
And then
You get the season opener,
And it's a good
then
one
you're
for
done.
you.
yeah, we get the season opener against Brookfield Central, but that's it. And then from there on, I think Coach Rowie takes it from there. But I will tell you, really excited about that one. That's at Brookfield Central, so we'll get to see Maddie Connor and of course Lily Wagner and the crew from G-Town, and they'll have their hands full with the Super Freak and Big Mo, the Twin Towers, as well as Tatum Kevicek and the whole group from Brookfield Central. That should really be a great way to start our season off. I think we'll
No
get a
doubt.
good.
And
I think we'll
you
get a good
are
feel
the
for what
fortunate
Germantown
one.
is. Go ahead, Coach.
Absolutely, and you're going to get a great. You get to kick that off. So every good team has a great leadoff hitter. So you get to start us, and then I'll take you the rest of the way. But anxious for this season because it is a group that is very talented, and in the GMC, it's a fun conference to cover. Great matches, day in and day out.
And if you look on the bottom of the screen, this is for coaches and current and former players. We really, really, really need guest analysts this year. And what a guest analyst is you really just come on, put a headset on with us, and you talk volleyball for as long as the match goes. Because if it's counting on us three knuckleheads to carry the weight of calling volleyball matches, guys, I got to tell you, I love you both, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for us. Fair?
No, the less we talk, the better everyone is.
Yeah.
The less we talk, the better everyone is.
Michelle Griffin Wenzel has helped us out in the past. Of course, we'd love to have her back. I've already had a couple inquiries.
Yep.
Megan Miller, former head coach at Waukesha North, maybe come and help us out. I'm pretty sure Coach Dwyer from Tosa West, when he has time, we'll see if we can get him to break away. But for anybody else, if you're interested, if you see on the bottom of the screen, info@productionsw7.com, shoot us an email. And again, we're not expecting ESPN here. What we'll do is, we're really good at bringing in new guests. I mean, Ed and I have been doing it for 3 years now, so we're really good at kind of getting you warmed up, and then it's really just talking about what you see on the floor, and we'll ask you questions to kind of help guide you along. And players, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of stretch yourselves a little bit and to try something different and to do a little bit of public speaking. So that experience never hurts, and again, I promise you, we'll make sure it doesn't hurt. It'll be less painful than the dentist's office. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I think too, Gary. Big thing is
Gary to jump. Go ahead, Connor. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Didn't mean to jump on you. Go ahead.
You got a basketball or softball kid or somebody else that is knows a bunch of the kids on the floor. That's very as well. So you don't necessarily have to be a volleyball player to reach out to us.
Right. And Ed, you
The
guys
other
are,
side of that is if you're on a bye that night.
yes.
Yeah, you're on a bye that night. Come on out. Get yourselves out there. Come out. You can basically scout a game while announcing it. And you can learn about your opponents. So if you have a bye that night, you don't have a game, you want to watch one, and you get a great seat.
Yeah, I mean,
we get
best seat in the
seats
house. You just got to listen to us, but I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, there's worse stuff than that.
It's close.
Well, that's probably true. So that's kind of our plug for that. But let's talk about Germantown. So again, as the home school, you'll notice right away that every single Germantown regular season match is on W7 this year, and that is not an accident. That's what we do for the home school. So just running through it really quick. We talked about the opener at Brookfield Central, at home against West Dallas Hale, on the 14th of September at Menominee Falls, at home against Brookfield East, at Tosa West, at home against DSHA, at Tosa East, and then at home against Sussex Hamilton. So I mean, you're talking about the GMC is it's a great volleyball conference. Obviously, Sussex Hamilton won the state tournament last year, so you're going to get to see plenty of great matches on a night in, night out basis. So we're really excited about bringing you GTV this year again for volleyball, and big thanks to Coach Wagner as always for her support of what we're doing. So Ed, I know you're going to have a blast going around the conference and seeing all these great teams.
As I said, the conference is a fun one to be a part of, and to see the talent on the floor night in and night out, it is great volleyball.
So let's shift gears here and talk about our first tournament, and then we're going to take a quick break. So we're going to do 3 tournaments this year. The first one is going to be the Pewaukee Invite. We will be live at Pewaukee High School September 18th. And you can see on your screen there's a good number of really good volleyball teams going to be on that in that tournament. So some folks watch while they're driving and just have the audio on. So just so you don't have to look down, let me tell you, Appleton East, Bayport, Catholic Central, Madison, Edgewood. We've never done anything with Edgewood in volleyball. Lake Country Lutheran, Lake Mills, Muskego, Notre Dame, Pewaukee, Platteville, Racine Case, Sheboygan Falls, Slinger, Verona, and Waukesha South. So, I mean, that's a pretty star-studded field for September 18th. We'll be hanging out with Coach Jonas and working with Pewaukee to cover that tournament on September 18th. So a good way to start our tournament schedule. Quick break. We'll be back. We're going to talk more schedule reveal show. We'll kick it into high gear on the next segment. Stick with us. You're watching the 2021 W7 Girls Volleyball Schedule Reveal Show. We'll be right back.
You have your camera, Keely. Can you come out here? Oh, we gotta take this in. Can you get like a picture of this so I can, like, from this angle, so it doesn't have this stuff in it, just so it doesn't have that stuff in here. And then I'll send it to. Yeah, whatever you can get of, yeah. And then I'm gonna send it to them.
I love the nightlife. I got to put it on the disco right now. Yeah.
We're at a commercial, so it's all good. You don't have to send it yet.
W7 back live. We are actually live tonight, so feel free to post in the comments, and I'm going to start getting on you guys about comments. I want to start seeing some comments during these broadcasts this year. You guys got to help carry some of the water here. You can't throw it all on us, and you guys just sit back and consume. You got to contribute as well. So, I'm talking to you, Germantown fans. You guys are always good about joining us and really pumping the comments in, as well as the Mishicot fans as well. So everybody else, let's go this year. I want to see comments, and they all better be great and all centered towards the kids. So do that for us, and it'll really help us with our broadcast this year. And again, we mentioned this in the opening segment. We are looking for coaches, players. If you do like radio work or TV work, and it's something you want to do is kind of a give back to the community for girls sports, we'd love to have you. Just email me info@productionsw7.com, and we'll get you squared away. I promise. We'll take good care of you. So let's get back to our schedule. September 16th, you'll see it on your screen right now. New Berlin West at Pius. We'll be at Pius for the second year in a row for volleyball. Looking forward to that. Seeing the Lady Popes. That'll be September 16th. And then we talked about the Pewaukee tournament. Now I want to talk about an event that we're really excited about that I want to share with you guys. This is on October 5th. We're going to be at Whitewater High School for Edgerton at Whitewater. And why it's such a big deal is every year Whitewater Volleyball puts on an event they call Play for Trey. Trey Killar, who was a 6-year-old at the time, was unfortunately riding home with his dad from a girls volleyball match, and their car was struck by a drunk driver, and unfortunately Trey lost his life in that accident. And so each year since then they've done this Play for Trey, and they've actually been able to come a long ways at building a little league field at Whitewater in Trayton's name. And so they're going to continue that this year. They also, Coach Bullis also spends time with the girls talking about destructive decisions and making good choices. So it's a really big event. We're going to offer a free HD copy of the match to anybody that makes any size donation to the event. So we'll be publicizing that all fall this year. So we're going to help contribute to that to Trey's Field of Dreams on October 5th. That is at Whitewater, and we'll see Whitewater even before then. We're going to McFarland on September 30th. I'll tell you what, when we go to McFarland, good things happen over there. I mean, there's always a close game. There's always something happening. So Whitewater at McFarland, September 30th. No Katie Hildebrandt, but in case you weren't aware, Katie was voted the 3-sport athlete of the year from McFarland. She's actually going to North Dakota State on a basketball scholarship. So Katie, a great buddy of ours, and we won't get a chance to see her, but hopefully she'll tune in and watch her McFarland team take on Whitewater on September 30th. Moving ahead, September 25th, we will be at Slinger for the Slinger Invite, and again, some really, really great schools involved in that event. Beaver Dam, Catholic Memorial, De Pere, look at their first look on W7 for volleyball, Fond du Lac, Germantown, Green Bay Preble, Greendale, Hartford, Manitowoc Lincoln, Oak Creek, Slinger, and Westosha Central. So guys, it's kind of a cool event just because we've got it's kind of a blend of teams from the Valley and from Milwaukee kind of taking on each other. So that it should be a fun event.
Absolutely. And to go back to your Whitewater event that you were talking about on October 5th, I will be there with you, even if it's in the background, helping with production of some sort. I will definitely be joining you for that one. It's something that is close to my heart, as my college roommate was very close to that family.
Great.
So I will be there for that one, and I would not miss it.
Fantastic. I'm going to try to, if he's, it's a tough time to get him, but if Coach Bolus is available, I'm going to try and get him back on the headset again this year. He was fantastic last year.
He's great. He is great.
Yeah.
You can see why that program is successful.
No question about it. Kathy Bolus does a fantastic job. And, of course, their daughter, Emmy, now graduated this last year going to Cal Polytech on a volleyball scholarship. And, boy, was she fun to watch. In fact, she came and did some of the state tournament with me on the broadcast. She was outstanding. So Emmy became a great friend of ours this past year. And so hopefully she'll be able to watch and cheer on her former mates as well. So back to Slinger, we talked about the Slinger Invite on the 25th. Well, you can't have a schedule reveal without a Slinger Hartford lineup, right, Coach? I mean, that's like table stakes. If you don't have Slinger Hartford, is it really anything?
Them's fighting words. That's all that needs to be said. That is just a brawl. It's a great
battle
match in any sport. It's such a great matchup.
Every sport is fantastic. The battle for the nest will be September 28th, 6:30 p.m. live from Hartford Union High School. Taylor Cleansing, if you're around, I'd love to have you come over and join us for that again this year. You brought us great luck last year. It was a fantastic broadcast last year. So September 28th, 6:30, live from Hartford, Slinger at Hartford. We'll get to see Riley Hamilton and all the girls from Hartford as well. Of course, the Slinger kids also. In fact, I think Coach Hassey has left Slinger. I'm not sure who the new head coach is, but we'll be doing some reaching out to see who that is, and looking forward to seeing Elise Gillen and the girls from Slinger taking on Hartford. That's September 28th. I want to shift gears real quick and put a plug in here for us. If you have what I would call a retired or retiring iPhone and you're willing to forego the whopping trade-in that Apple and all the telephone carriers give for those devices, the $50 or whatever it is, and it's at least an iPhone 8, would you consider donating it to W7? We use it, so we use iPhones for all of our cameras, and rather than buying new ones, if we can get 4 or 5 retired ones, and I'll tell you right now, if it's got a cracked screen, no problem. As long as it works and the camera works, we don't really use the screen that much. It's just really using it for the camera itself. So if you've got at least an iPhone 8 or a 9 or a 10, or probably not an 11 or 12, you're probably not willing to part with those, but an 8, 9, or 10 for sure. It's got to be at least an 8 for us to be able to use it. Again, cracked screens are fine as long as the rear camera works. And we'll contribute a portion of that we'll count a portion of it towards the 2022-23 W7 homeschool contest. So we'll give you a value for that and count that towards the school of your choice for the homeschool contest. So if you have one to donate, we'll even come get it from you so you don't have to do any work. info@productionsw7.com. Let us know. But guys, you guys know this. I mean, we go through a lot of equipment. We go through cameras too because they get hit with volleyballs and basketballs and softballs. They're in the line of fire all the time.
Yep.
In fact, Connor just went through that with softball, right, Coach?
Yeah, that showcase it was number 7 on the leadoff team. So we were the 7 batters into the event, and boom, right there, softball right off the fence, right off the camera. So.
Now, it cracked the screen, but the lens was okay. But, again, these things, once the screen cracks, eventually at some point you're going to start losing the electronics on it. But, we've got to replace these devices all the time, and we know this, right? I mean, we know that we're going to lose devices just because the girls are, they're physical and they're rough on things as they should, as we want them to be. Coach Rowley, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, and I think everybody, yeah, I think what needs to be understood is that's what we do, that fundraising that I was talking about before. It's to replace equipment and to get new equipment, and that's what it's for. It doesn't go to us; it goes toward all the equipment, which goes right back to the girls.
Absolutely. So consider making a donation of an iPhone, again, at least an 8 or a 9 or 10 or newer. We would be super, super appreciative. We could use a couple extra for golf this year even. And again, when we're running 3 rigs this year with 5 cameras each, I mean, that's 15 iPhones. So I mean, it's a lot of cameras.
It's going to be great.
And so any help you can give us, we'd appreciate it. So that's the end of that public service announcement. Now let's get back to our schedule reveal. October 16th, we'll be at the U at Arrowhead for the Arrowhead Invite. And guys, another great lineup of schools here. It is Arrowhead, Hartford, Homestead, Kettle Moraine, Menominee Falls, Muskego, Oconomowoc, Slinger, Waukesha North, Waukesha West, West Bend West, and Whitefish Bay. So a great rundown of Milwaukee area schools for that event. It's kind of an annual thing. We went and did it a couple of years ago, and glad to be going back for 2020 for that event. So that's October 16th. We're going to take a quick break and come back, and believe it or not, we're going to wrap this thing up. We'll get you out of here early tonight. You are watching the W7 Girls Volleyball Schedule Reveal Show, and you're watching it live on W7. We'll be right back.
W7's got it right. Covering girls' high school sports all the time. 100%
Gary, can you hear me?
100% live. W7 for the girls.
Gary, are you there?
Day and night. W7 Productions.
I got you, Ed.
From golf, volleyball, it's girls' sports in Wisconsin.
Yeah, you must have stepped away. I want to make sure you remind them that it's only on YouTube this year.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal. I think we need to start talking about that.
It is.
Yeah.
We are back live. Gary Whipperman on the left, Ed Rowley in the middle, and Connor Du Bois on the right, coming to you live tonight on the Girls Volleyball Schedule Reveal Show. And one thing I want to mention right away that I think sometimes we overlook is one thing that we decided this past year is because of all the spamming on Facebook and the end of Periscope on Twitter, we've decided to just consolidate all of our broadcasts onto one platform. Everything's going to be on YouTube from now on. So it's youtube.com/W7 Productions. Just do a search in YouTube on W7 Productions. I'm telling you, you'd have to try to miss it. I mean, that's how easy it is to find us. So everything will be on YouTube. Don't look on Facebook. Don't look on Twitter. You're not going to see us. It's going to be exclusively on YouTube this year. And guys, I mean, I think that's a good thing. It just gets us down to one place to find everything, and we can point people all to the same place to find our stuff. They agree
One spot for
wholeheartedly.
everything. It just makes it easier for everyone. Just makes it easier for everyone.
Yeah.
When you have 3, you have none, and people were kind of jumping all around. Now we know we can go right to it. We can direct them right to it. It'll make it so much easier. You can go back in the history log so much easier. It's going to make it easier for everyone.
I think the other thing is too, we it's going to be there. That link can be provided ahead of time, and you can actually sign up, or when you ring the bell, you can sign up for that event and get a notification, about 15, 30 minutes before the event starts to remind you. So it's a great feature to have.
Yeah, go to youtube.com/W7 Productions and then hit the subscribe button. And then there's a little bell right next to it. If you ring the bell, you can actually set up notifications to notify you when we go live. And it makes it really easy. And also, it's a great reminder. So check that out, youtube.com/W7 Productions. Back into our schedule reveal show. A couple things left. GMC Life, only a couple matches that don't involve Germantown this year. Brookfield Central at Wauwatosa West and Menominee Falls at Wauwatosa West. So October 7th and October 14th, we'll be at Tosa West twice this year for those events. And then I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Northern Lights. So one of the things that we decided this past season is that we really want to increase our presence in the Fox Valley because for a couple of reasons. One is, I mean, there's great athletics up there that we love to bring all of our followers, but also we're really fortunate having Connor Du Bois, who lives in the Green Bay area, that has become a fixture on W7, has decided to kind of take the reins on the Fox Valley area broadcast. So, Coach, I mean, this is a really ambitious schedule you've got here. I think if you're in the Fox Valley, you got to be super excited about it, and I bet you're excited to get out and start working these matches, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Just excited to get, we did some basketball last year, a lot with Michigan, did some softball in the Valley. Then this past spring, and now to finally bring the volleyball on board from the Fox Valley and Green Bay area. I'm excited to do and hopefully branch out into some of the smaller communities with our small town Thursday nights and stuff like that. Maybe not so much with the volleyball, but definitely looking forward to that with the basketball and things like that later on in the year.
And I don't think we're going to need it as much for volleyball, but we generally ask for a volunteer or a helper from your program, for coaches from your program to help us out. I think with volleyball, we've got wide-angle lenses on our cameras, and we can pretty much put those in a stationary spot now and bring you the whole thing. But if you've got somebody that's avid in doing camera work that would love to help us out for a match or just be part of us for a match, we'd never say no to any help. So if you've got a parent that enjoys doing that, or a sibling or a JV player that you think would be interested, send them over to us. We'd love to get them hooked up. And if you had a chance to watch Sarah Nassif in our softball showcase, she's decided this is what she wants to do as a career after high school. She wants to go to college and go in for broadcasting, sports broadcasting, public relations, communications, that type of thing. And so she's kind of cutting her teeth with W7. And guys, Connor, you were there, and Ed, I'm sure you watch a little bit here and there, but I'll tell you what, I mean, she is off the charts good.
She's going to fit in perfectly with GTV. I mean, she will just slide in seamlessly, and it was really impressive to watch her just interact. She relates, obviously, to all of them, but just the way she carried herself within those interviews, the way she interviewed coaches, players, talked amongst everybody, it was incredible to watch.
Now, Ed, I will warn you, I've already told Sarah that, I mean, she's going to be the boss for GTV. I mean, you guys work for her now. I mean, she's in charge, and whatever she says kind of goes.
I tell you,
well, we are for the girls.
Yeah. I tell you what, Gary, we might have to start trying to find a replacement for Sarah, because, I mean, if she keeps doing what she's doing, I'm afraid somebody a little bit. I mean, not that we're not professional, but I'm afraid like a Valley Sports might try to swoop her up and move her over to the Brewers or Bucks sideline this year.
We've locked her in on a 2-year deal, Coach. She's not going anywhere, and I know Mike Nassif pretty well. If she decides to go somewhere, Mike and I are going to have a really, really direct conversation about that. So I think we've got her for a couple of years. But for those of you in the Fox Valley, or even again in the Milwaukee or Madison area, when you see Sarah this year, if this is something you want to do, come and tell us. Take the initiative. We don't know. We won't know you're interested unless you come and tell us. So you come and tell us. I guarantee you, we've got a spot for you. We've got a place for you. You can come work for us. Sarah's going to work on the production side. She's going to work on the camera side. She's going to work in front of the camera, behind the camera. Doing really everything there is to do in our business. And by the time she gets out of high school, she'll be a junior this year. She's going to know everything there is to know about live streaming. Which, if you think about going into college as a freshman and going into broadcasting as a freshman, already having a portfolio of being on the air, having done broadcasts, and have a portfolio of videos that you can show. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've done already. I've been doing this for 2 years already. I mean, that's going to impress the people, and that's a great way to get started early. Because a lot of these kids, of course, take college credits in high school to get a head start on college. This is the same thing. You can get a head start if you want to go into broadcasting. Yeah. Again, I tell people this all the time. We're not ESPN, but we do all the same things they do, just on a much smaller scale.
No, you're hitting the nail on the head. And Sarah did a great job with that. And she's going to get so much experience that when that red light goes on, it's going to be no big deal for her because she's
Right.
done it for 2 years.
Yep.
She also knows what's going on in the backgrounds because she's going to be a part of the background, with the production side of things. So it is going to be no big deal when she gets to college. She's going to be so far ahead of everybody else when it comes to her major, and that's what she wants to do. And this is going to be great internship for her.
Absolutely, and of course, we get a big win out of it as well, getting to use her talent for the next couple of years. And again, we're really looking forward to. Coach G came out and did the some of the softball showcase with us, and I'll tell you what, he was blown away by Sarah. I mean, he was so impressed by how well she conducts herself, and just again how well she carries herself, and really just did a lot of just off the cuff interviews. I mean, he was really impressed. I told him, I said, if you're nice, I'll have her do a training session with you before basketball. But one thing I will say is, when you loan us your children to, come and work for us, we take that very seriously. And, all kidding aside, I will tell you, we want to make sure that the kids are safe because, it's kind of a crazy world we live in now. And so one example is when we finished our broadcast, I mean, it was 10 o'clock out at Infinity Field in Waukesha. And if you've been out there, I mean, it gets pretty dark in that parking lot. And so Coach G actually walked Sarah to her car. And if you know Coach G, I mean, he's a, I would not want to mess with that dude. Yeah, you're in really, really good hands with Coach G. So we'll take care of your kids. I promise you. We will not let them, leave the premises without an escort going to their car, and make sure they get off safely. So, just again, keep that in mind. If you have kids interested in doing this, we'll take good care of them, I promise you, and we'll give them a really great experience. So, getting back to Northern Lights,
Gary, before you carry on.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
One thing before you carry on, that's not just for girls.
No, not at all.
You got somebody in that household that's a boy that wants to get in. Hey, this is for anybody in high school.
Absolutely.
That wants to get involved.
Yes.
We want to be there for you.
For sure.
Yes, our sport activities, our live streams are girls' sports, but we will help anybody that wants to get into this field.
Yes. That's 100%. Thank you for bringing that up, Coach. Yeah, I mean, this goes for male athletes as well, or male high school. Doesn't have to be athlete. If you're interested in broadcasting, interested in filming, production, video production, any communication, social media, any of those things, male or female in high school, we will give you a great internship experience. I promise you that. So back to Northern Lights. We'll round that out here. I want to just quickly hit on some of the great matches, Coach. I mean, you're going to get some fantastic ones. Kimberly and Appleton North on September 2nd. I mean, that's like a state tournament match right there.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like right at the front end of the season. So, looking forward to that. And who knows? Maybe there's a regional or sectional matchup down the line.
You got to give me your impressions on the Dunaway kid from Kimberly. She's 6'5", and she did play basketball, but now she's just doing volleyball, and I've been dying to watch her play. So you'll have to give me your impression from her on her at that Kimberly match. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about that. I mean, she is a tremendous athlete. Denmark and Wrightstown, Xavier at Howard's Grove. Howard's Grove always loaded. I mean, always loaded in volleyball, always loaded in basketball. They'll be strong again this year in volleyball with the Damro kid. Manitowoc Lutheran at Mishicot, Fox Valley Lutheran at Freedom, our first ever girls volleyball with both Fox Valley Lutheran and our first ever with Freedom as well. We've done basketball with them, but never volleyball. So we'll be at Freedom on September 23rd. Notre Dame at Manitowoc Lincoln. The Ships, of course, were runner-up in the spring alternate season this year for girls volleyball. Coach Dixon will have those girls back and ready to go this year, so we'll see them. And then October 4th, back to Kimberly again. Nina at Kimberly, and Appleton East at Appleton North, and then we'll round it out. I'll actually do this one, Freedom at Howard's Grove. That's October 12th. So a total of 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 games on the Valley this year, 10 matches on the Valley this year for volleyball, which is a big entry point for us. We're excited about it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that this year, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, and Gary, like I mentioned to you, there are some holes in that schedule. I was looking to get one up to 2 games a week. There are some holes in that schedule for other teams. If you're interested, hey, that info at Productions W7 or any of the social media, hit us up, and if we have an opening and it works with the schedule, I'm going to try to get out there as best I can and see what we can do. We'll make it work.
Yeah, great point, Connor. I'm glad you mentioned that. One of the things that we try to do is get to as many schools as we can. And obviously, we've got some that we've been doing for some time. If you're a coach or athletic director and you watch tonight and you said, "Hey, I didn't see my school on here. Is it too late?" Send me an email, info@productionsw7.com, and we'll be happy to take a look and see what we can do to get you guys in. Again, it's really for the girls, of course, and if we can get your team in and they weren't on our schedule, we'd love to. If we're already coming, we'll probably just stick with what we have. But if you watch tonight and you're disappointed to see your school wasn't on it, let your coach or athletic director know and contact us, and we'll be happy to check in and see what we can do, and whether it's in the Milwaukee area, Madison area, or the Fox Valley. So I guess parting comments here, guys. 8:48 here, so 48 minutes in. Coach Connor, any final words from you?
No, just to say I'm looking forward to really getting this Fox Valley and Green Bay and kind of this. It's really not really the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights is where Ed likes to go for his summer vacations. But, it's Northern for the Oconomowoc and Milwaukee crowds up here. But, looking forward to getting into new schools and bringing everything we do, not just the actual matches and stuff, but the promotion of the girls and of the programs and the schools, bringing that up to this area and building the relationships with the athletic directors, coaches, and most importantly, as you always say, Gary, our stakeholders and our bosses,
Yes.
the girls.
Coach Rowie, shots fired there. Do you want to respond?
No, that was great. That was perfect. First, Connor, good luck this year. I hope everything goes swimmingly and nice and smooth for you. As we know, the production sometimes gets a little hairy. No, but I wish you the best. I'm excited to get back into the Germantown community, Gary. You know how we fit. So we feel like we fit perfectly there. And last year was such a great year. To have a second year there, I mean, it's just going to be that much more comforting to go to different buildings as basically part of Germantown. That's what myself, Coach Gavinsky, when we get to the basketball season, that's what we are. We're a part of that community now. And we're excited to bring the volleyball, the basketball, and the softball to you as we go forward, because it is GTV year 2, and we are excited to be a part of it.
And don't forget our golf friends as well, of course, M4N and Gabby Cox and the Germantown girls golf team. We're going to see you guys really soon. Looking forward to it, and getting back connected with you guys. We did a lot of GMC stuff this year in golf, so that'll be our next live stream. Will be on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. We start with the Brookfield Central Homestead Classic live from Wenatchee Golf Course. Ed Swab and Ed Rowie on the call. I will be doing camera duty for the day and really kind of just reporting to those guys. They'll yell at me where to go, and I'll go there, and they'll just sit in the cart, drink their lemonade, and call golf. You guys got a pretty sweet gig there, Coach.
It is. It doesn't matter where we cover golf. It is so perfect. It's totally different from any other sport. It's a perfect. Last year was our first year doing it. It was a great addition, and excited to see what year 2 does for all of us.
Yeah. So thanks you guys for joining tonight. Again, we'll get the full schedule up on our website. Also, if you go on social media, in fact, we already had a player respond to this. If you go on social media, we put out a post tonight that says with a list of questions about you. And you can answer as many or as few as you want and email them to me when we have a match coming up or a game coming up where you're involved. Some of the questions include, hey, what are you reading right now? What's the first concert you ever went to? If you could go to the moon or go to the oceans, or I don't know, something like, what would you what would you do if you could walk in anybody's shoes for a day? Whose would they be? So, in fact, we already had a Brookfield Central girl respond to that, so I'm looking forward to reading that tonight. We'll get that link back out to you guys again. And again, I encourage you to fill that out because it lets us get to know you better. And if you know W7, yes, we're about athletics, of course, but we're really about you all. And it's really about telling your story and bringing you into the homes and vehicles and wherever our viewers are, getting them to know you, not just you as an athlete, but you as a human being. And that's really what we want to do.
I think that's what sets us apart, Gary, from a lot of everybody else, is that building that personal relationship and sharing that story.
So one thing so this is from Nora Cerrone. I'm just going to read it real quick. Waukesha North, class of 2023. If I could eat one thing for the rest of my life, I would eat potatoes because of the many ways I could cook them for variety.
That's what we want.
That's an interesting. Right away. That's so unique. That is perfect.
Love it.
Great job,
my gosh! Nora. Yeah, way to go, Nora.
Perfect.
So do that. We'll get that link back out again. But take a few minutes, fill that out, send it to us. We'll file it, and when we come and see you, we'll pull that thing up and be able to talk all about you during our broadcast. So for Connor Du Bois and Ed Rowie, I am Gary Whipperman. I want to thank you guys for watching tonight, the 2021 W7 Girls Volleyball Schedule Reveal Show. Thank you all for your tremendous support. I'll tell you, it does not go unnoticed. Anything you can do to help us, it goes right to the girls. I mean, everything we do is for them. That's more than a tagline. It's kind of our way of life. So we'll look forward to seeing you on Tuesday at the Brookfield Central Homestead Classic, and then our season openers in volleyball August 26th at Michigan and August 31st at Brookfield Central for Germantown Brookfield Central. And the last thing, I don't know if we can do this all together at the same time, guys, but we'll give it a try here. So everything we do
It's doubtful.
For the girls.
For the girls.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not great. Not great.
We're all on delay and
yeah. Hey, have a great night. We'll see you Tuesday.